weather forecast says it's going to be frosty tonight. So, time to light the fire and see what the fire tells us. See if the fire gives us any wisdom or just leaves us tongue-tied. So I'll put down the glass a bit to get a draw going. We'll think about what to say tonight. See what the fire tells us what to say. In the last video I said about the Stone Age times, the firelighter was probably a top guy in the village. And after a long day's work, scavenging and looking for food, they'd all come back to the little huts or caves and get the fire going to cook the food. So the fire was a big part of the life, really, especially if you were an old man of 30 and you'd lost all your teeth already. You need to have the fire to soften your piece of meat up. Seems to be going all right. Imagine all those people sitting there. Oh, still not ready. I'll put it down a bit more. Go on, baby. Imagine all those people sitting around the fire and have finished eating the meat. Maybe they've got some mead or something, I don't know. And they start to tell stories around the fire so they don't get too scared when the wolves come. And you could say that we've come a long way, but you could say the fire was a kind of local Wi-Fi, a local internet, where you got your information from other people, where you all sat watching the fire, just as we sit around our screens and looking on Facebook, various online forums where we talk to people in the evening after a day's work, nice and warm in front of the screen. But we don't get any adverts on the fire. It's not trying to sell us anything. So instead of Facebook, you would have had Firebook or Fireface, Firemeat. Ooh, bloody hell. Right, I have to put put the glass down because it's spitting wood a lot out there. It's from the pine wood in there. I'll tell you a story once. I was living in a little derelict shack in the Peloponnese in Greece, and we were really lucky to have a fireplace there. And it was Christmas Eve, and we collected up lots of wood from the olive groves. And there's no wood that burns like olive wood. It must be the oil in the wood. And it burns with an intense heat, but it also kicks out sparks like that too. and I was sitting by the fire, and a spark shot out of the fire and went right in between my fingers there and burned a hole in between my fingers. It was the most painful thing, one of the most painful things I ever felt, this big gleed of hot wood burning into my fingers in the middle. But it was a nice fire. Eventually the chimney caught fire that evening as well. It was Christmas Eve, and all the front of the chimney place set on fire because we put too much wood on, being drunken idiot immigrant fruit pickers. We didn't know any better. It only spits the fire when the pine wood's burning. That's why pine wood's not such a good wood for fires. Not only does it cover your chimney in tar, but it spits out. It burns quick. Doesn't give out that much heat, but it's good for fire starting. What we've got on top is nice big beech faggots. It's nice to burn beech faggots because they give out a constant heat and they don't spit. And once the pine wood's got up to its ignition temperature, it tends to stop spitting anyway, so we might get away with it now for a bit. A bit hot here. No, we'll put it down again, it's too hot. And we'll take the air supply down a bit so we can just get the thing ticking over and not going like a blacksmith's furnace. So yeah, the prototype of the internet really. We haven't changed that much, have we? Except usually when we're on the internet we sit all alone in our little rooms with our little fire screen in front of us. But the original fire net was about community. Everyone sitting around the fire to get warm, to cook the food and discuss what happened in the day and tell stories. Telling stories, handing down knowledge. So not only was it sometimes some words just won't come. Not only was it similar to the internet as well, it was like a hard drive too, because that's where information was copied and shared. Grandfather told the story about the bear in the cave. Grandfather, old man of 32. And the little kids there learned the story about the bear in the cave and not to go in the bear's cave. A little bit of knowledge passed down over thousands of years. And we still have the story today with the 3 bears. Never trust a bear. What else could we say about this fire? As I said, I've consciously not thought about it. I'm just sitting here. What do they call it? Slow video, when it can be boring. And I'm just waiting till the fire spits something up into my mind I can say. Oh, okay. And think of all them people, thousands of years. The fire made the meat tender, so more people were able to get more protein, and the tribe was able to increase. And as the tribe increased, They cut down more trees to make more fires, so they could all sit round in the evening and do the fire net. And over hundreds or thousands of years, eventually the forests got cleared, until we get to today, where that old little innocent fire that we all used to sit round, there's no wood left. We've burnt all the wood, and nobody hardly has a wood fire anymore. We've all got our screens. We still need fuel, we still need energy. We look for different sorts of energy. When the trees were all gone, found oil, found that burning oil released even more energy into the community, and the community was able to grow, and metals were able to be smelted, and factories were able to be built. And things come full circle. So the fire as a piece of technology that helped mankind to become what it is today. And fire can be a friend. It could keep you alive if it's really cold outside. If you're really starving and you need to cook that piece of meat, soften it up for them old gums. But there again, fire could get out of control. It could set the whole village on fire and kill everybody. So you had to treat it with respect, the fire. And if you think about the world today, the world's getting warmer as the climate heats up from all this burning, converting energy, letting energy free from all the fossilized energy that's stored under the earth. And now begins the big slow burn, because we're not respecting the fire. And that's what the fire tells us tonight.